The title of my talk is Putting AI Models into Production. Here I'll be simply pointing out all the methodologies that I've been accustomed to while putting models into production. And this would all be the content for my talk today. Like, I'll be talking about the history of LLMs, and I'll be particularly focusing on LLMs, as that is the only area that I've worked on. And we'll move into production, and I will show you a simple architecture which could put a BERT-based model into production. So quickly to start with, like, we've all seen the meteoric rise of language models, like the state that they were in like 5 years ago to the state they are in right now. Like the results have been astonishing. Like, it's just great, the things that is being done. So to just simply begin with, like, we have this whole history chart, like that I scraped from the internet, and we just started with some LSTMs, and then we moved forward, and there were some more breakthroughs, and now we're in the state of ChatGPT 3. And additionally, there are like this whole bunch of new open source models as well as commercial models that are performing really well. And so, like, the models are there, the performance is there, but like it is just not possible on your local hardware. Like, it's just too expensive for small companies to just fine-tune models on it, fine-tune models on their data. So it is really it is acting as a barrier, you may say. So, like, even with ChatGPT, it's just general data and not rather a focused sector data. So you cannot really use it for your own enterprise unless you train it, or like these new techniques such as RAG, you can use it on your organization as well. So I've put up a simple chart, like, about how much costing it would take to fine-tune a simple model of 7 billion parameter model on full precision. Like, the cost of that instance on AWS is marked at 0.752 per hour. So, like, if you're looking for training, that's a lot of money that needs to go down the drain. Yeah. So moving forward, like, once you're moving into production, like, you have a product in mind and you're trying to build something with it, I think one of the best thing you could do is simple API calls. Like, rather than hosting the whole models yourself, that's like too expensive, and it's extremely expensive to even scale it up. So simple, I think OpenAI has these plans, like, they're really organizational friendly. Like, you could subscribe to it as per your traffic as well. So that's there. And other thing is, like, the RAG-based models. Like, at the end of the day, you're still making API calls to OpenAI or some other platforms that is hosting the model. But rather than the models being really general, now it's your data being generated, per se. Yeah. And the other techniques that you could use to add this to your organization would be maybe prompt engineering, like basic manipulations with a prompt that, like, you could add in some additional context, some additional information along with the query of the user, and then you can get better answers. Other things that are being currently researched is, and this is the part that I like the most, is quantization. Like, there are great advancements being done on this field. Like, recently I read an article about there was 1-bit quantization. I think the previous one was, I think it got down to, I think, 3-bit or something, but now it's 1-bit. The performance especially isn't that great of a quantized model, but I think advancement on these front would you know, do a great, would be helpful for small scale organizations. Yeah. And if anybody is working on these sort of things like maybe writing a paper on quantization, please feel free to contact. Like, I'm really interested on it, and we're trying to do something on it as well. Yeah. Another thing is, this was a huge hit. I think some months back, I'm not sure, but LoRa is one of the most famous techniques out there right now. Like, you just freeze all the pre-trained model weights and add additional layers that combines the previous, you just freeze the weight and add in your data that is stored in another layer, and then you mix it. So in that way, more context of your organization is added into a larger model to achieve a better result for your organization. And other thing would be like simple word-based models could do good tasks as well. Like word-based models have been really famous and have been performing really well in the past few years, but it's really something that has gone out of hype in the recent years. But still, even in our company where we work with word-based models for simple classification tasks, so I think it's really about like finding the right place to put it in rather than going for LLMs all the time. I think we could really brainstorm it to find a pain point that a simple word-based model could fix. And these are really easy to deploy as well as it's really small size. And another thing could also be knowledge distillation. Like there's this teacher and student model, and you train the student model would be a really small model in comparison to the teacher model, and you just verify the answers with the teacher model. That would help make the student model better. Like this is a technique to make your small models perform well. So if that is something you're looking into, this technique would help you. And I think pre-training just fine-tuning should be the last resort, because it's really very expensive to do. And unless you have the budget, I don't think anybody would even go for it. And on the bonus part, like there's this technique called speculative decoding. This technique has been used to speed up the inference time for LLMs by 2 to 3x. There's this good paper on it. You can Google it. So this is even used by ChatGPT to speed up their inference time. And this slide I added it as a bonus because I recently found out about it, like Olama. This was a great project done on, I think this was Go. I think this software is created on Go, and this makes it easy for you to inference on your own local hardware. Like you could just spin up, you could just install it, and right away you can get the latest models. I have listed a list of models that they provide. Like the list is very large, but for starters, like all of the hyped ones are there, and it's really easy, and the inference time is really low. And this is all available in a Docker image, so you can easily host them as well for your own sake. But this is really new, and this has not been tested well. So we're not really sure how they achieve the things that they achieve, because this is all being done in your own local CPU. So yeah, this is really new. So you can, I think it's easy go-to place for prototyping. Like you could easily prototype on your own local hardware. And yeah, so this diagram, it's a simple pipeline that one can design for model inference. Like if your organization has a small model that you want to deploy and use for inference, like this would act as a simple base ground. The pipeline that we use at our organization is quite similar to this as well. But however, this could act as a base point. We have our GitHub repository that contains all the Docker files, and this repository can be triggered using anything. Like you can create a new tag, and this would be run in the GitLab runner itself. And what this would essentially do is it would create an image, and then it would push that image to ECR, and that image would be used to run Amazon SageMaker. And in that you can specify the drive of hardware that you want to use on SageMaker, like maybe whatever the size that is required for your model, that is. So in this simple 3-step procedure, like you can create an automated pipeline. Of course, you would require triggers, but it is sort of an automated pipeline that gives you an inference on some endpoint that you host. So yeah, I think it could act as a simple base for you to build your pipeline on for your organization. I think yeah, that's all from my side. I hope it was fruitful for you guys. So yeah, thank you.